everyone, welcome to Millennium Computers online 5-minute tutorial series. Today's course is going to take a look at the question, what are configuration settings? Now I'm going to work today at the site-admin level, but this is actually a feature that is available for all administrators of all applications. It's not necessarily required that you would have site-admin access. I'm going to show you how to access this from site administration, but I'll also walk through how to find the same exact page within each application. I do want to stress, however, that there are some configuration settings that can only be managed at the site-admin level. So it's generally considered best practice to probably have access to both site-admin and application level configuration settings. Now, first of all, what are configuration settings anyway? Well, it's a good question. So there's a couple places we can go to find them, and then I'll be able to start walking you through what they're used for and how to modify them if you ever need to. As a shortcut, we've added View and Edit Configuration Settings as a quick link on the Quick Launch tab within site-admin. You can also access configuration settings from the information menu in the site-admin application or in any other application. It's right here, Configuration Settings, and let's go take a look within site-admin. So the first thing that's required if we're working in site-admin is going to be an application. So let's just go ahead and choose something like Human Resource Reporting. And keep in mind, this page will look identical whether you load it from site-admin or within Human Resource Reporting. If I execute that, it's going to show me all the HR-specific configuration settings within FAST. So what are configuration settings anyway? Well, let me unriddle the mystery and basically just break it down to those settings that you can override or modify as an administrator. Here's the way it works. We have a whole bunch of rows here. Notice I can highlight any of these rows as I move along. Here's an example in row number 5. It's item number 56. The description refers to the model of security that you would want to apply to HR reporting. The text value is showing me which current option has been selected for my particular instance of FAST HR. So when do you think you might want to change this, or would you need to actually know what to do here? Probably the most common example is you're going to submit a ticket to customersupport@mcsl.com about something that you want to change in FAST. And then the customer support team is going to get back to you super quickly and efficiently and let you know it's actually a setting you can change yourself using the configuration settings. They'll probably tell you whether or not it is application level configuration settings or site-admin. I'll show you site-admin in just a couple minutes. The other thing they're probably going to be gracious enough to tell you is which item number it refers to. The item number, not the row number, is the reference number for each of these configuration settings. So if they said to you, hey, actually, that's a field you can change yourself, just look for item number 56. You'd find item 56, move over to text value, and they'll probably even tell you what to change it to. These are areas where you have control over certain features or certain preferences in your application. We want to make sure that you control this, not Millennium, because at the end of the day, this is how your data is going to display and it will have the biggest impact on your end users. If we scroll through the list, you may sometimes see rows that are grayed out with a lockbox. That just means these are read-only records, and in fact, they can't be changed. These are features that are required to be set at specific values. If you want to make a change, let me go ahead and turn on my debugging, which is item number 1337, and change it to Y. If I navigate off that cell, of course, it's going to turn yellow, and it allows me to save that now. If I go ahead and save that, 1337 is now set to Y, and in fact, in my application, every time someone in FAST HR runs a report, it's going to track those SQL statements as part of the debugging. I'm actually going to turn that off. I don't really want that to be the case right now. Turn it back to no, and save that again. Let me go back to my filter options page for a minute and switch the application to site administration. Site administration are those configuration settings that are going to have a global impact on every other application within FAST. Here's an example. Row number 12, item 90, is use sticky filters, yes or no. It's currently set to yes, and I think most of our clients like to use sticky filters as part of filter options general behavior. If you decide globally for all end users in all applications that that's not something you want to use, you'd want to come in here and set that Y to an N. You also have control here over various things like date formats and the number of days to retain all your different logs, including outgoing emails and scheduled events using the report scheduler. And again, there are sometimes going to be fields that you don't have the ability to modify. In those cases, the fields are shaded dark gray and have a lock next to the row number. There's one more thing I want to show you, and that is still under information, and it's called a configuration setting audit log. The audit log is going to actually be able to track all activities where items have been changed in your config settings. Let's go back to HR and run it. My config settings audit log is going to keep track of some key information, including who made the change, the date the change was made, which item number was changed, and that's why these item numbers are a key piece of understanding how to use config settings. It's going to show me the previous text value, the new text value, and if the field was not text, but rather something like numeric or date, there's also columns to show that information as well. This is a report that allows you to keep track, based on activity date, all the changes that have been made in your system to the config settings. If you ever wonder what's been done, run the config settings audit log, and you can always go back into the application and reverse the changes that have been made. I just want to remind you that changes made at the application level have an impact on all end users within that application. Changes made at the site admin level have a global impact on all end users in all applications. You probably want to double check with administrators from other applications before you make modifications here. I hope this has been a helpful introduction to configuration settings. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you again next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's video. I hope it was helpful, and please be sure to stay tuned for new video content as it's released. And as always, please email me your suggestions for new video content at training@mcsl.com.